Thursday, May 13th, 1948. The situation in the Etzion block is disastrous. The attack isn't over. Arms and ammunition have been sent in by plane, but it isn't clear whether they reached their destination because the airfield is full of enemy tanks.
It is the day before Israel will declare its independence as a Jewish state. In 24 hours, David ben Gurion will become Israel's first prime minister. During one of the most euphoric and important moments in Jewish history, he is a leader at war. Just south of Jerusalem, a nation that is yet to officially exist is under attack by enemy forces. An area known as the Etzion block is under heavy fire. They aren't coming from the left or the right. The enemy fighters seem to be everywhere, as if they are growing out of the sand itself. Ben Gurion asks his commanders what to do next. Their advice: fight. He reaches out to the fighters in Etzion and records the conversation in his diary.
We are filled with deepest concern and admiration for you in your battle against a vastly superior force. Your previous battles not only added honor, but directly and indirectly helped to save Jerusalem. We are certain you will continue to defend yourselves bravely and unflinchingly.
From the moment it was born, Israel has walked the razor's edge between the hope of a great and peace-loving nation and the realities of its neighborhood. Just hours after Ben Gurion sent his words of support to the soldiers in Gush Etzion, a report comes in. The Jewish forces have fallen. The residents have been overwhelmed. An important decision must be made.
I decided to give them freedom of action. If they can't continue fighting, they should destroy their weapons and hang out a white flag.
Ben Gurion has given his forces the option to surrender in the midst of war. With that great burden upon his shoulders, he clears his mind and works into the night, finalizing Israel's declaration of independence and a nation's hopes for peace.
Friday, May 14th, 1948. At 2 a.m., a cable arrived. Waving a white flag at Kfar Etzion ended in a massacre of the Jewish defenders by the Arabs.
157 Israeli fighters are killed, many after they had surrendered. The remaining 320 survivors are taken prisoner. But that afternoon, Ben Gurion and other leaders gather at the Tel Aviv Museum. On the eve of that Shabbat, Ben Gurion stands and declares the independent state of Israel. 11 minutes later, the fledgling nation is recognized by the United States. It's likely that the room hadn't even cleared as word came in from the White House. In his personal diary, Ben Gurion writes his own account of the day, the tragedy in Gush Etzion still pressing on his mind.
At 4 o'clock, we declared independence. The nation was euphoric. And again, I am mourning in the midst of joy.
As Ben Gurion stood to open the meeting that day, something incredible happened. 250 people, fully aware that an all-out war would begin the next day, stood and sang Hatikva, the song that would become the national anthem, a song for our nation on the eve of war. Ben Gurion would later declare the anniversary of the attack on the Etzion block as Yom HaZikaron, the Day of Remembrance, always to be observed the day before Israeli Independence Day. His message linking the two was clear. The Jewish state owes its independence, its very existence, to every soldier who fights and dies for the state of Israel. Today, 67 years later, Israel turns to America, to each of us, to ensure that now and always we will declare, Am Yisrael Chai, the people of Israel live. Thank you.